And it's a pre-show here at the Rants of Izzo on Spreely TV. I hope everyone is doing awesome. What is today? Tuesday. This is the Rants of Izzo on Spreely TV. And let's take a look. Hang on. Oh, I got to do this instead. Let's look at, for everyone who's watching at the Play at Home game, this is Spreely Media, Spreely.com, right? You have everything from the social media platform where you can speak freely. Other shows on there like Report and Opine, the Burn Pit Podcast, Shannon Joy Show, The Dumb Show. It's not dumb, it's just Don't Run From Me Show. I'm texting people at the same time. We have this is our, you want video clips? That's Spreely Video. You want, what else do we have? Let's look at it's Spreely Video. You want to watch live, you go to Spreely TV, watch live, and watch this. Let's see if this pulls up. Oh, wait a second.
He's going to double and triple down on that. There will be no discussion on it. This is a disaster.
Here's why that's
a terrible disaster. And this is very dangerous. Incredibly
oh my gosh, shut up.
dangerous. And
that's shit. It's not live because we're not up yet, because this is a pre-show. That's a very unflattering frozen image, so I'm sorry about that. So we'll get rid of that. But we are live in just about, I don't know, a few seconds. And that's what we do here in Spreely Media, is we give a pre-show for all you peeps out there who love what we have to do. I'm all coffeeed up. I love it. Eric Butler from Report and Opine's joining today. How the hell are you?
Sensational. I'm on my second cup of coffee right now.
I'm waiting for Jen, who we have on every other Thursday when Lola's not on, and she is Pirate Cigar and Blackwater back Wiley, and they're doing a coffee, and we're going to do our version of coffee. But so far, I've been drinking that Bustelo in the yellow container, and I've been making pot. It's espresso, but making pots out of it. I'm going to fucking bite a toddler in the face. I'm that aggressive. Don't forget, phones are open too. You guys want to talk to Eric or anybody else, or you got a question about something, 708-982-0974. If you're listening on the replay, yeah, we're live Monday through Friday. Just jump in. You can actually talk to us, challenge us, argue with us. We really don't care.
We welcome it.
Yeah, there's that, I guess, in part.
Actually, you know what? I was on my YouTube channel. Yeah. I'm pretty happy that some of my videos are getting across the aisle, because I've had in recent days a lot of like angry trolls, because I push back on the notion that black athletes are done being mad about their hair. It was some stupid thing about hair, and then like dozens, maybe hundreds by now, of comments from weirdo lefties who are mad at me for.
Well, let's have a show and talk about that.
Prepare yourself.
The opinions of the host and guests on this show are exclusively just that, opinions. That means that they shouldn't be the cause of your state of being offended. Why does everybody get so butthurt?
Okay, let's go. Ready, go! Leadership.
Sit down, shut up, and pay attention.
Damn!
This is the Rants of Izzo Show with your host, Dominic Izzo, from porn to politics. We touch every third rail we can find. You might want to put your headphones on so your mom can't hear this. It's been called the most entertaining 60 minutes on the internet, and it starts now. Let's do this.
Good afternoon. This is the Rants of Izzo Show here on Spreely TV. Hope you guys are doing well. If you're watching on your Roku, Fire Stick, Apple, or whatever else means you're watching on your iPhone, you're watching in the shower, driving, all that stuff, welcome. It's Tuesday. This is the Rants of Izzo, and I'm your host, Dominic Izzo. Eric Butler from Report and Opine sitting in today. The question on everyone's mind is, where's Bo Jiden?
Bro, it is a mystery, man. I think it's it's a little bit too strange, but I mean, these people are capable of anything, right? I mean, think about the chain of events, bro. From the day he announced, came down the escalator, they were trying to get rid of him, all the way up to taking a shot at him, and then they take a shot at him, barely graze him, or he doesn't die, obviously, and then oh no, Biden comes down with Rona, and boom, he's missing. Absolutely insane. And I was watching a Mark Dice video. Shout out Mark Dice. He does great work.
I like him. Yeah.
Yeah, one of like the original like conservative YouTubers, I think, right? Like from back in the like 08 or not. I mean, crazy. Yeah. But he played a clip of an old, well, like some weird like CIA ray gun type of thing, like something out of a movie.
Oh, the heart attack gun stuff.
Yeah. Right. He kind of like alluded to maybe they did. I don't know, bro.
Well, he's supposed to be giving a press conference tomorrow.
Okay, and then to be honest with you, I didn't watch the clip, but I saw a bunch of headlines of how, I mean, we're still cleaning up, so I haven't like been able to sit down and watch all my commentators like I like, but there's some sort of notion that he's gone, he's dead, but he's coming, bro. This is just too much.
I've never seen this. Never, ever, ever seen this where you have within a week, one president is shot at. And I think the only time there was ever any kind of like legitimate fear or apprehension was when Obama was elected, because you had so many people claiming that racists were going to try to take him out. Now, I don't know how, like, if the Secret Service ever puts out numbers and says, hey, these are credible threats. And I'm sure there were many lunatics who did something stupid, like said they were investigated by the Secret Service for some kind of credible death threat. But I've never, and I think I lived maybe the first 6 months. I was an Obama supporter. I very much, he was charismatic. He sucked me in. I'm like, dude, this guy's amazing. And I lived the first 6 months kind of worried, like, is this president going to be, shot at or something? And then as time goes on, it doesn't make sense in my mind. It's like, it's not possible. It's not, with today's technology, drones, I don't know, heat signature, GPS devices. It's not possible for somebody to even remotely get a gun near the president. Yeah. And if you've ever seen In the Line of Fire with Clint Eastwood, he plays an aged Secret Service, and John Malkovich plays a guy who creates like this composite resin gun that doesn't show up on metal detectors. It's like, that's the length maybe you'd have to go. And you would think with 3D printing and stuff like that would, whatever. But I was talking to, who were we talking to last week? It was like, man, maybe it was you. I'm still baffled that that a president in my lifetime was legitimately shot. It's like it blows me away. And then the very next week, Joe Biden he announced so messily, and I kind of want to get your views on the Democrat Party, going from him announcing and then like 28 minutes later saying, oh, by the way, I support Kamala, and then some people not supporting Kamala and all this. But when you start with those two like glaring events in life, like, holy shit, a president was legitimately shot, and then the next week a presidential candidate drops out and does it haphazardly, and then the Democrat Party is a shambles. How do you see all this happening?
Dude, is it completely out of line to just say, like, after you guys tried your last ditch effort, the last resort, you literally tried to get rid of him? Now, obviously, I don't want to say, oh, the quote unquote deep state or the political regime was behind it. I would never allude to that. I would never say anything like that. But only days after they failed to take him out, that was literally the last resort. Or we have to connect those dots. Like, he's like, well, you didn't get rid of him, so I guess I'll go. Like, you really, bro? Like, you're dude. What was it? Okay, maybe 12 days ago now, but a whole bunch of videos were popping up like 10 days ago. Joe Biden, I am staying in the race and I'm going to win again. Like, yep. And then he just doesn't. And now, look, bro, obviously the Democrats are in shambles. They have been in shambles for at least this election cycle. I mean, they've been cheating. This is absolutely ridiculous. And to be honest with you, I mean, I was of age, obviously much younger, but I don't really remember Obama. I was kind of wrapped up in it, like, oh, black guy, okay. Like I didn't vote or anything. It was like, okay, he seems cool, like black guy, whatever. I didn't know anything about the policies until I got my first glimpse into the corruption with the individual mandate, and I was like, what the hell's going on here? And it all sort of crumbled from there. But I noticed, because I was just sort of reading through some articles and stuff, and what's really strange is that the Atlantic, who obviously is a crazy far left-wing publication, says that the Democrats are making a huge mistake rallying behind Kamala Harris, which is totally true. I can't believe they said something accurate, because I mean, this lady didn't make it to Iowa in 2020. She lost to what's his name, Booty Juice. Nobody, even in California, they don't like her. But now, so the Atlantic on one side says it's a mistake to rally behind Kamala Harris, and then I read some local Bay Area news who says, oh, the Democrats are energized behind Kamala Harris. And it's like, well, which one is it? Like, you guys are a complete mess. And I've said this 100 times. You got to just go back to the dungeon, bro. Think about it. Like, you could come up with a plan that people like. You don't win every time. As long as I've been alive for decades now, it goes back and forth, right? 2 terms, always goes back and forth. But for whatever reason, probably because they stole the last election, they think they're just entitled to win, right? Like, well, we could lose if we don't get rid of Joe Biden. Yeah, well, that's okay. Like, sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. And now they're pretending that they're just owed this victory. I think it's a little bit because of embarrassment. Well, there's loads of reasons, but they're embarrassed now that people can tell it was all fake. I knew, you knew, we all knew it was completely weird for the past 4 years. But now they've gone so far, they've lost some of the media, they've lost some of the weirdos. I think the shooting has even red-pilled some people, quote unquote red-pilled. I don't know what a better term is, but yeah, they are collapsing, bro. And here's my fear. Last point. I am genuinely nervous that so Kamala is officially the nominee now, I believe, and they're going to try to say, oh, look at how amazing we are. We got rid of Joe Biden. Even though you didn't really listen to the voters because they voted him in, but they swapped, they put her in, and look, we're so righteous, we're so amazing, and she's so popular. She's going to get 100 million votes this time. Oh, that's what I'm worried about, is they're going to pretend that everybody loves her.
The spin is amazing. They're already saying she's raised over 81 million, nice number, in campaign donations in 2 hours. And I was talking to Matt Spear, host of the Dumb Show, about this the other day. I was watching House of Cards. I don't know if you ever watched that series. I had to stop watching it. I got into season 4, like a couple episodes from the end, and I'm like, I'm done watching this. These people are disgusting. They're narcissists. They're sociopaths. Every character on this show is a fucking scumbag, and this has got to be how our government is run. Joe Biden, a clip is going around, and they're not that hard to find on Joe Biden, where he was in the first primary presidential debate between Obama, Clinton, and himself. And
what was that, 2008?
Yeah, it was 08. 07 going in. Yeah, 08 because of the election. And he's condescendingly, he's kind of like dropping hints that, well, Barack had to go get HIV tested, so he's kind of alluding he's gay. And so I know men, and I've been saying this for years. My mother, who is dead, and my uncle, who I don't give a shit when he dies, they were like Joe Biden, more specifically my uncle. My uncle was a bully, and every time I see Joe Biden talk, that man's a fucking know-it-all bully. The younger Joe Biden. This Joe Biden that they have in office, I will tell you, everything is a deal made. Joe Biden, and I hate saying this because I don't know what's in another man's heart. I truly believe Joe Biden is a racist in the sense that he believes he's better than other people. And the clips are out there like crazy from him having no problem dropping the N-bomb in Congress, even though he's reading it, to the Indian accent jokes or a gas station. He is a typical high-class white man of power. When they said, hey, Joe, we're going to make you vice president, I'm going to tell you, it fucking crushed him knowing that in all his years in office, he had to play second fiddle to a freshman fucking senator who they handpicked to become president. Well, Obama had that fucking first 2 years, and he gets to be, and it goes from senator to president, and he was black. There's no way Biden liked that. And they probably said, Joe, this is the deal we're going to make with you. You do this, blah, blah. And we heard the whole, Barack Obama's my friend. He's my best friend. There's not a chance in hell. Behind closed doors, he called him boy and all this other shit. This is payback. You ever hear that saying, if you live long enough, if you live long enough for you to become the villain of your own story or whatever.
Yeah,
that's what Joe Biden is. Joe Biden, instead of bowing out with dignity and grace, he had to get that last drink of power and become president. And they let him do nothing. He's decrepit. I don't think at all he knows he resigned. And I don't think worth shit that the reason why he's talking tomorrow and not that day is because they put out that press statement and then they told him, and that man fucking blew up. I bet you it took a couple days to calm them down going, Joe, we're going to kill your fucking family if you don't step and fetch right now. There is no doubt.
And that regime is capable of anything, bro. Think about the Kennedy family, right? They came out against their own brother because they probably know firsthand what that regime is capable of. And Joe, I mean, think about all the clips. Oh, the racial jungle, and he's the first, well-spoken black man. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, to Charlemagne the Fraud 4 years ago, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. The list goes on and on and on. It's same thing with scumbag, greaseball, bang your wife, Governor Gavin Newsom. Oh, I'm one of the good ones. Every other white man on the country, on the face of this planet is bad, but not me. Not me. I'm one of the good ones. And then Kamala Harris, obviously. Oh, remember you see the image, the meme floating around in 2012 or 2016 or whatever. Oh, she's the first Indian American, and in 2020 she's the first black woman. It's like, you guys are so dishonest. You did have I remain hopeful that it's all come crashing down. For up until what, 10 years ago, there was basically, I mean, you had to do some real digging, but there was basically a handful of 3-letter news agencies that would report whatever the hell the political regime wanted them to. Now we all have a phone in our pocket. They try to stomp us out with censorship, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. But it's all gone. And first of all, you lost the lefties. We don't even think about that too. We don't really hear about Israel, Gaza anymore, Israel, Palestine at all anymore. We don't hear about the Georgia case that had the big mugshot that was the hugest picture before Trump did this, fist raise. I mean, all of that stuff, right? Remember when they tried to get him off the ballot, right? We don't talk about any of that anymore. They tried to literally kill him, and then it failed, and Bo Biden says, "Oh, I can't do it anymore." Like, how, bro? This timing is crazy.
It's insane. It's insane. And the problem is the amount of people. Like I do go on Twitter and X or whatever, and I just can't believe all the blue check marks. And I don't look at the conservative ones for some strange reason. My X is just filled with the blue check marks who are liberal, and I've never been that good. I've never told women, yeah, I have a yacht, I got a 12-inch cock, and I've got 6 figures in the bank and all times. And it's like the way they lie and people believe them. It's like, I could never be that good in my dating manipulative life. How do they get these people to believe them? It's unbelievable how this is happening. So I don't know what's the bigger danger.
Yeah, you almost have to respect it. Like,
yeah.
How do they get that level of mind control is just beyond me. But I think it's coming to an end, bro. Like, there's Destiny, Harry Sisson. I think, there's a bunch of videos on YouTube. So my YouTube is basically all conservative. My Instagram, I think, is a great middle ground. Of course, I did sign up for Threads. You go on Threads, it's all weirdo lefty, Joy Reid, Bakari Sellers. I mean, those people are crazy. And they're clinging on. And I think I said this on the show. It's like, dude, just tell them something different. Like, if you wanted to they're going to buy whatever you sell to them. So just tell them something that's like not quite as insane and make a reasonable argument. But you guys have resorted to putting an 81-year-old man who may or may not have pooped his pants and cutting the dicks off kids. Like, dog, there's so many other things you could do, but you choose not to.
I don't get it, dude. I don't get it. But because why would you have to? It's like if the law of any business is what? Supply and demand. And why would you ever, like, aside from boredom, and I always wonder about this. Like, I've got certain passions for my entrepreneur stuff, right? Law enforcement content, network marketing, and martial arts. And it's like, if I ever, what if like I bust my ass trying to build my, any one of those, the content platforms, right? And sales, law enforcement critique, kung fu. But it turns out that, yeah, I can make a spaghetti pasta or excuse me, gravy for really good. Like, I'd make my mom's recipe and people are buying that for like $100 a jar. And it really takes me, 2 hours a day to do it. And I can make 30 jars a day. And, there's 30 grand a month. But I have no passion in it. It's just but people are always dying for it. Well, would I not be a fool to just continue to do that? Like, if people want it for the next 20 years, I'm like, all right, I'll do it. But then I have to sacrifice my passion and what I really believe in, all this shit. It's kind of like the same thing. If you're in these political positions and like, dude, nobody is leaving the arena. We're still, they want encore after encore. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Same fucking formula. So the American people are really the ones to blame on this. When you had said earlier about the news being reported, and I think it was Nixon. I think it was under Nixon's presidency that they changed the law to where the news, because it used to be if you reported one side, you had to report the other side. And I believe that under Nixon, after that, started to have opinion pieces. And those became far more to where it's what we do now. 90% of any news out there, it's an opinion piece of somebody. But at what point, like, do we listen to both sides and discern for ourselves? I saw my sister on Saturday, and she was bouncing back and forth between Fox News and CNN because she's just now at 47. She's like, yeah, I'm finally getting political, but I'm trying to watch both sides so I can know what's really going on. I'm like, bravo, fucking bravo. But we don't do that, dude. We don't do it.
And they warn against. Now, obviously, Brian Stelter has been ousted by CNN, but I mean, there's clips of him for a couple of years saying, "Oh, both sides is and literally don't do your own research." Do you remember that? There was like a montage of him, like don't. Fredo Cuomo, notoriously, remember that? Anything you from the Hillary emails, like, if you read this, it comes from us. You're not allowed to have it yourself. It's like, yeah, you guys claiming that you shouldn't look anywhere else, you're probably the bad guys. And then they try to clean it up a little bit, but that regime, it's just so rotten, bro. It is so rotten. From the mayor of Oakland to the governor of New York to the lieutenant governor who flew under the radar, right? Lieutenant Governor Brian Benjamin, who came up with Kathy Hochul after grab-ass Andy Cuomo stepped down. Bro, these people are criminals. Obviously, Tiffany Henyard, we don't really hear too much about that anymore. The only thing we hear about now is, Bo Biden dropped out and they tried to kill Trump, which maybe that's not the only thing. That's why they're, we have these stories about the Olympics and all this weird stuff, but it's just so despicable, bro. Like, I'm genuinely curious as to how anybody, I mean, basically, bro, if you're older than high school age, you have to call some of this into question, which I think is actually happening. And that's why they're trying to go so heavy handed with the censorship. It's also not to be too conspiratorial about it, but come on, bro. This is peak election season. And I've had two jokes removed from my Instagram. Or no, one was removed and one was flagged as misinformation. But it's like, you guys did this almost exactly 4 years ago, and then I went damn near 4 years without any issue, and it's back. Like, I guess they think we're this stupid.
But we are. We are.
Are we?
You think about it. You have less than 4 months, not even, right? So you got August, September, October. And we got like a week and a couple days in July left over. And then you got November 5th for voting. The DNC is going to be out here in Chicago. Oh, my God. It's going to be 20 minutes from my house. It's going to be such a fucking shit show. How can they? And they will. So if Joe Biden got 81 million votes, what are the options? The DNC has to create such electric excitement and brainwashing into whatever candidate they choose, and they're not even in solidarity yet on the candidate. And then within a matter of weeks, show this person's accomplishments and have them be more popular than Joe Biden. Did you see the House of Cards series?
I did not. I've heard about it.
Yeah, there's what they do. The presidents. What's asinine is they get the vice presidents or the first lady, the president's wife. They start to spin the narrative in season 4 about who she is and how qualified she'd be for vice president. And the way they do it gets the brainwashed mob to be like, yeah, we want her, the first lady, as vice president. They basically show how easy it was to manipulate. So you got a fucking king and queen in running your government. And they're going to do the same damn thing with this. They're going to have people say, Kamala Harris, dude, look at what she did. They're going to turn every one of Joe's accomplishments, I don't know what they are, put them on Kamala. And you will still have clips out there of, Lester Holt look and say, well, you haven't been to the border yet. Well, I haven't been to Europe yet either. So they're going to have those things, and people are going to be like, we don't care. We don't care. We're supporting our black sister. It's going to be insane.
And you know what they're doing now? Because I'm spent most of my life in California, so I still look at the Bay Area news. And what's funny is that, of course, they're pretending that, the Bay Area, the San Francisco Democratic Party is so energized after Joe Biden dropped out. Okay, whatever, bro. But you know what's strange is that they're saying, we need a prosecutor president, and she's going to prosecute the case against Donald Trump, even though you guys spent the last 4 years hating cops. Like, how do you square this? Right? I mean, that's literally how stupid people, especially in California, are. And to your point, yeah, I guess we genuinely are that stupid. And every day, no matter how old I get, and you probably, no shade, but you probably know a little bit more about this, but I didn't realize how depraved, like, I'm just thinking about all the communities, like all the weirdo shit, the weird piss parties and like stuff that it never crossed my mind. It's not on my radar at all.
No, because that lifestyle was supposed to be behind closed doors, but like everything else, we mainstream the shit out of it. Start putting upside down pineapples in your baskets at the grocery store and fucking, we'll get a yellow handkerchief out of your back pocket. They used to be the days of, they were doctors and lawyers and professionals who did that kind of lifestyle, to each their own. But today it's like, it's the same thing with the adult film industry. When I was a kid, you had the Vivid girls, Jenna Jameson and all those girls, and there were maybe 9 or 10 of them. Right now, everybody with a fucking cell phone considers themselves an adult star, and it's just it's like any other business out there. It's saturated, and I think with politics, the same thing.
I just didn't realize. The more you learn, you don't know, right? Like, I just didn't realize, yes, to your point, like, people are really, really fucking stupid, bro. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. And I guess that was my point. Is like, I was tying it into things that, like, there is literally a market for everything, right? You got these, we've taken a weird turn, but I didn't realize there was a whole community of like piss pigs. Like that's the level of
mostly Germans. Germans like pee and poop.
What's that?
Germans like piss and fecalophilia, poop.
Yeah. Oh, dude. I didn't realize. So
there's a genre for everything.
It seems strange, but in the same realm that I didn't realize that exists until fairly recently, it's hard for me to understand that people are so blatantly stupid, right? I mean, I saw, you can go look at my Instagram story right now. There was an event, Black Men for Kamala Harris, and it's like, okay, well, Kamala Harris is constantly talking about women. She also won't admit what a woman is, even though she has this believe or trust women banner everywhere. And then you're going to bend their babies. And then you want the men to vote for them. And on top of all that, she's not even really black.
And she's married to a white guy. She's married to a white guy. Dude,
they all are.
Okay, I don't understand this when they call him the second gentleman. And I was thinking about this the other day. I'm all for, no, I'm not really. Women in power. Okay, fine. Right. I just got done doing a panel with Scotty Nell Hughes and Jonathan T. Gillum. And we were talking about, women in the Secret Service. And I'm like, no, it's a blanket statement. I just don't think women should be in law enforcement, that type of leadership, all that shit. That was my words, not his and not hers. And when it comes down to this, it's like, okay, well, that's one side of the coin, but the second gentleman, how emasculating is that to where not you're not even the first fucking the first gentleman. I mean, you could technically be the first gentleman because there's no fucking woman there. It's the first lady. But why? And she does that, and then all these black liberals, they all have white partners that are cucks. Lori Lightfoot, Don Lemon, obviously Kamala Harris. I mean, Barack Obama's got a man. It just is what it is.
Yeah, bro. These people. I don't know. I don't know how this ends. I mean, nobody knows how it ends. But bro, we've come so far from a rational, sane world. I said in 2019, there's just no way. Right. That was before Rona. Right. So there was a black swan event that allowed Bo Biden to become president. And I stand by this idea, which a lot of people don't like. But, everybody laughed at Kanye West, who obviously I'm a huge fan of since I was a kid, came up on Kanye West music. But would him running for president be any stranger than the timeline we're in right now?
No, why would it? That's as much as I liked Trump running, the game has changed forever. If Trump was not pulled from Twitter these last several years, because I don't think Truth Social is as big as a platform, but if he was still on Twitter, can you imagine the level of expectation from then on out for every president to be able to, I mean, personally, not Biden. I don't know how they do this with Biden, AOC. They're not tweeting. Their staff is tweeting. Trump tweeted himself. That level of standard is insane, and it's a sideshow. It's a fucking circus now. So I'm kind of glad that he got off Twitter or got kicked off Twitter because it kind of calmed things down a bit. But I do not know where we go from here, because what's the next thing? Like, well, The Rock is going to run for president. We already did that joke when I was a kid, right? It was, we wanted Schwarzenegger to run for president, which shows how stupid we are, because we based our sense of what a leader is off of the persona of an actor, somebody who pretends for a living. Oh, you got to change the Constitution to let Arnold be able to run and this and that and blah, 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 blah. And so when you get somebody like, oh, The Rock's going to run. Why? The fuck is The Rock good? So it doesn't matter. It could be Kanye West. It could be, like, even with this RFK shit, I think it's a joke having him run. People, and it shows how desperate people are for the pain pressure the most. So it's like water seeks its own level. So if you're getting squeezed, and there's a little opening, you're going to go out that opening. Well, the world got fucking squeezed. RFK came along and said, ooh, vaccine's bad. And then all of a sudden, oh, he needs to run for president. What are his other policies? So the more that I spend less time online, which is the only time is on my motorcycle, because I cannot look at my phone. I can look at it in the gym. I can look at it when I'm driving, taking a shit at night, but not on the motorcycle. The less time I'm on, I'm like, why do I pay attention to any of this shit anymore? And what good's it going to do? It's probably killing me.
You know what I do? And this is like just obviously my personal life, but I go to the grocery store without my cell phone. That's like my time to
wow.
Walk up and down the aisle, get whatever, whatever. I obviously need a woman. Like, this bachelor lifestyle is killing me. I don't really cook anything, a bunch of frozen food. But that aside, it's like me walking up and down the aisles, getting fruits and cereal and all this stupid shit is my time to not look at political nonsense at all. And when I want to tune out, and maybe I've said this, but I can watch old school cooking shows like old 1998 Emerald and like classic 90s basketball, where it's pre-agenda. There's nothing, like, even now you turn on the cooking shows, there's always a goddamn lesbian on there, right? There's always some weirdo mohawk. You can't watch the new cooking shows, but if you go back to the 90s or even early 2000s, that's like that's like when I can completely tune out. But otherwise, I open my Instagram and it's just nonstop weird. And I have set it up this way. Yes. It's nobody's fault but mine, but I have set it up because I want to see what the lefties are doing. And they turn everything. You know this, right? The audience knows this, but everything becomes racial. Like, how, bro? It wasn't always like that.
No, I don't know. No, this was not like this at all. I'm so fucking tired of this shit because all you have to do is go on YouTube and Google television commercials, NBC, CBS, ABC from the 1980s. Because this country's racist, right? This country, so there's never been black mainstream, blah, blah, blah. The amount of TV shows that I can list off that we were glued to, for the love of God. And that's why I think what happened to Cosby was a conspiracy. Because that man had a black family and he epitomized. We were glued to the Cosby Show. That was our moral compass. Bill Cosby, Claire, all the kids, but they were black, so we're racist. But if you go and you watch, I'm watching commercials in the 80s for nostalgic purposes. I don't know, this is months ago. And I'm like, holy shit, there's an Orville Redenbacher commercial with a black family. There's a Sears commercial with a black family. There's this commercial with a family, auto commercial. Like, this is insane. I thought we were a racist country. All the TV shows we grew up with, it was never an issue until it is that gaslighting. It's that this is, I don't know, pick something. Like if you are worried about having cancer nonstop, well, your body's going to probably develop cancer because you're stressing yourself out. You don't notice shit, or what is it? If you think of yellow punch bugs, the VWs, well, now you're going to see them everywhere. I think that's what they did. Like yesterday, that Congressman West, whatever his name is, puts a picture of him up and Kamala Harris together. And this is what black jobs look like. And I'm not going to lie. Well, I'm not going to lie, right? This is what they've done. I've been very, very public about this. They're making me racist because I probably spent 5 minutes trying to think of a good, punchy, snappy comeback to put on his picture talking about, well, black jobs, they don't even work, right? I wanted to put something so offensive up, but I'm like, why am I doing this?
They want you to.
They've got me. They're digging in to my hatred for a problem that doesn't fucking exist. 100%. They're good at it.
That's what they do. I always use this example, but the BLM protesters in the Summer of Love in 2020, when it was so dangerous that I was still in New York, but so dangerous that you had to eat on the sidewalk in July. It's hot and sweaty, humid, and there's trucks going by, but you have to eat on the sidewalk because you're going to die if you eat inside. And then the BLM protesters go by and drink beers off an old, 60-year-old white couple or something, like adults, fully grown adults, just trying to enjoy their lunch in Manhattan. And so when the girl takes a sip of the beer, a girl, by the way, takes a drink off of the table of the couple dining, and they are hoping that couple now says, I don't like you. And then they say, oh, see, told you were racist. And it's like, no, dude, because you're an asshole. It has nothing to do with race. But they want you to, you're right. You walk right in. You walk right into the trap.
Yeah. And at this point, like I did a video yesterday because I'm tired of I'm not talking about it. So it was a black troubled teen in school, had his phone taken away from him, and the conflict resolution was, of course, to punch the white teacher. So I went online saying I'm so tired about the fact that people don't talk about culture and crime. They're connected, and it always goes to race. Well, when you came over here from Italy, Spain, Ireland, and you went to Ellis Island years and years and years ago when illegal migration was the process, you went to where your neighborhoods were and your culture was, the people who looked like you and spoke your language. And it just so happens that race is a big part of it because you go where that's your first thing. Oh, do they look like me? I could go that direction. So I'm so fucking tired of that. It's horrible. I want to pivot because here's the other problem. I don't know if you saw this video. Woman in Illinois, it's just south of me. Illinois police have released body cam footage. Again, I want to go with the timing of this. Now, normally I don't talk police tactics with you, but you're a layman. I want your opinion on this, and I want to see what your views are, especially with this time of of the political nonsense going on. Illinois police have released a body camera footage that shows the chaotic moments that led to the fatal shooting of a woman who had called 911 to report a suspected intruder in her home. Sonia Massey, 36, over Independence Day weekend. Her death led to a criminal charges against one of the police officers who responded to her home, and it has drawn condemnation from President Joe Biden. Of course, after this happened, tons of police shootings out there. I don't know if I don't have the Joe Biden tweet, but Joe Biden.
Wait. So she called the cops to report an intruder, but then they killed her.
Yeah, she was what we call 1096, like a crazy. It seemed like a little bit, and you get that all the time. A lot of the times, people will call for attention, right? They just they want law enforcement to show up just to talk. And you got to kind of placate that a little bit, is what it is. And I'm gonna play this video. You haven't seen it yet, I take it?
I don't believe I have.
Okay, I'm going to just play this and you can watch. So this is body camera footage. Two cops are inside a woman's home. This is her sitting here right here. This is the primary officer, and the body camera view is from the other officer. And I'm just going to let this play.
Some paperwork.
Well, just get your ID.
Well, let's get your ID first, and then
one task at a time here.
Okay. Let me
Here, grab your ID for me.
Okay.
Your ID, one task at a time. So let's do an ID, and then you can dig around for your paperwork.
I don't know where my ID is.
you sit in that stack right there, maybe.
Okay. 1 second.
Just check on her.
Let me get this.
We don't need a fire while we're here.
Right. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Where you going?
Huh?
Where you going?
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I would rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Huh?
Rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Nah, that's where I got to shoot you right in the face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the pot. Drop.
Shots fired.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Drop the pot. Bring EMS now. We got a headshot wound to the female. Headshot wound to the female. 1078.
Now, I know you're not very familiar with police tactics. Do you have any opinion on that at all?
No, well, I'm gonna be 100%. I didn't see what she picked up. It was a pot
of water. Pot of water. You can hear them saying, "Hey, we don't need a fire." So she goes over there to address the stove, the pilot or the light that's on the stove and the pots of the water, and then she says, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." She could have been joking, whatever. I rebuke, and he goes, "You better not." And then she says, "Okay, put the pot down." She says, "I'm sorry." She crouches down and he shoots her.
Interesting. Okay, because I heard something about a pot, but I didn't really see what she put up there. Yeah. And it seems like, just that's the first time I'm seeing this video, it seems like, yeah, I don't know if maybe it's a training issue. I don't know exactly why they would shoot her, but unfortunately, bro, they've gone too far. It's like, it's almost like you've cried wolf too many times, right? So that woman may have been completely innocent and those cops may have been completely wrong. But in 2024, after at least the past 4 years of it goes before, BLM, whatever, Eric Gardner and Oscar Grant, all this stuff, that you guys, you overplayed the hand, so we can't believe you. Right? So you may have concrete evidence that these cops were completely in the wrong, but you're not credible anymore. So, but now we're kind of under mob rule, right? So whatever this jury or judge or whatever is probably going to throw the book at them, which maybe they deserve. Damn, this is a mess, bro. And my point is, even if you're correct, I have a hard time believing you because you've cried wolf so many times. But on the other hand, I mean, I don't know what the cops are like in Illinois or in Chicago or Southside Chicago or wherever that is. But the cops in New York are certainly compromised, right? Those are, I call them de Blasio's henchmen. So who knows? But okay, last point here. I don't think, and I could be totally wrong, but I don't think they went in there thinking like, oh, we're going to shoot us a black woman today. It went completely wrong. And it's almost just par for the course at this point. Like everything's going wrong. Like we're circling the drain now, right? We're just watching it. So I don't know. She was
fucking murdered. she was murdered. And I'm not a big conspiracy theory when it comes to shit like this, but the timing, very interesting. It happened in Illinois. Where's the
4th, or is it the weekend of the 4th of July?
Yeah, I think it was July 5th. Where is the DNC being held? Chicago. Right? Black woman, white cop. This cop was charged with murder. Prosecutors allege that after Grayson allowed Massey to remove the pile of water. And I've said this too. There's...
Did both of them get charged?
I think, I don't know. I just think the one. I do not know, because you'll watch the mental tap dancing from the fucking retard bootlickers that are in the comment section saying, well, the water could have blinded them. Well, the water could. No. There's nothing you can say that will ever make me go, yeah, I agree with them shooting a deadly force. And like you're saying, at what point, right? Let's just say the water was scalding. Let's say she had impeccable aim. Let's just say that the pot had a handle on there that could leverage, the proper force and what would it be called? Mass, force, velocity that would.
She wouldn't have been able to pull that off.
No, I'm saying in a perfect world, and they shoot and kill her, and they're fully justified. Why? Why is it the police always have that benefit of the law on their side? Like, why don't the citizens have that, where you're like, man, well, yeah, the light was red, but I had to get to work on time. I didn't think it was going to be red for that long, so I sped through it. 2 people collided after trying to swerve me, and they killed. Okay, you know what? Yeah, based on Mr. Butler's rationale, and the traffic and the cameras, we're just going to release you without any charges. The American citizen is not given the same leeway as police officers are. This guy, it's 2024, and there's only one of 2 answers. Either we do have cops out there that are like, fuck this black woman, I'm going to kill her today. Or we have stupid, uneducated, subpar candidates on the street who are an absolute danger to everyone out there. When I saw that video, I can't believe the number of people who defended it, because we have people. It's insane.
And I say this in my videos all the time, is that, and this goes for cops as well. But what do you expect? And as I understand it, Illinois is one of the most corrupt states if not the most corrupt state in the union. But what do you expect when you think about scumball, greasebag, bang your wife, Governor Gavin Newsom, Mayor Shang Tao, London Breed, Eric Adams, kickback Kathy Hochul, and her corrupt lieutenant governor. The list of corruption goes on, but those people, those criminal politicians, political thugs, are going to, of course, breed criminal citizens. And with the criminal citizens, obviously, comes criminal police officers. So good things cannot be birthed from crooked politicians. And you would probably know much better about this than me, but maybe this is silly, but was there like worst case? Like, was there a taser, or was there like I'm probably going to wind up doing a breakdown of this one later on. They had an open fucking door. They didn't need to be there. There was no criminal information. She called about a fucking prowler outside, and there probably was nobody there. You show up, who's here? Well, somebody outside. We searched the perimeter, ma'am. There's nobody here. Call back if there's something else going on. They don't need her ID. They don't need to identify, get your driver's license, get your right. They don't need that. The door was open. They had an island counter between her and them. You know that pot of water? Yeah, guess what? You're going to wake up tomorrow with a fucking, maybe a little bit, a blister on your face here and there if she threw it at you. Hold your arm up. If she threw it at you.
It's not deadly fucking force. The amount of people, and he was charged with, here's the deal too. He was charged with murder, and he's due back in court August 26th. He was with the Sangamon County Sheriff's Department for 18 months after serving as an officer with several other agencies in Illinois about 7 years before that. Now, I served for 3 departments, all in the same area. One was part-time, 2 were full-time. I know what it's like to be from the island of misfit toys. And this was always what I said. For everybody's like, oh, you got fired. Because I stood my ground. And when they offered me the option, resign and you can go somewhere else or we'll fire you. I said, fuck you, fire me. Fought it and won. How many cops out there are shuffled all around the fucking state and county and you never know about it as citizens? This fucking guy, I want to dig into his history. I want to see what his fucking disciplinary records were with his other departments and shit. And to know that he's still on there, but now he's a political pawn. Because you got both Pritzker and Biden tweeted incessantly about it. Another opportunity. White cop, black woman. Is this political? Could they have said, hey, listen, we're gonna bury money, take care of your family, or we'll kill your family. Shoot this woman. Let's start, let's have a political riot. I don't know if it was set up. You said 10, 15, 20 minutes ago that the left is a dangerous party that can go for anything. How do you know? They didn't.
No, nothing's off the table. I mean, literally, look, this, no shade, but like this lady losing her life is the cost of doing business for them. If this is a setup,
yes, and it's not shade at all. It's the truth. It's
totally possible, bro. I mean, when you just not even taking into account the past 8 years of the first Trump presidency and all that, but just in the past like 6 months, it's been absolutely astronomical, the chain of events that have gone down. So for this to be a setup is definitely not off the table.
What the fuck is wrong with my computer? Sorry.
We got a tab open or
no? It's just I need an intern. Can't get an intern ever. I've been asking for 5 years now. I think it's disgusting. I don't know what I put past anything. Like even and to kind of circle back to the shooter that we were talking about last week. It's like, dude, that kid. Hey, you've never been laid before? We're gonna get you 3 Swedish bikini, fake titted models and have lingerie come over to your room and I'll fuck you all night for the first time in your life. You got to kill the president now. Oh yeah.
And what was the saying? He was always meant to die, but he wasn't meant to miss.
Who the fuck said that?
I think it was Jack. I think it was Jack Posobiec. I don't want to give. I'm scrolling. I saw it and I was like, yeah, I guess that's probably right. These people will stop at nothing, bro. And for the record, this little situation with the cops here, it does call everything into question because, like I said, the NYPD is basically de Blasio's commie henchmen in San Francisco. They're almost non-existent, right? They let the weirdo, gay BJ piss party thing go on with kids around. So the waters are so muddied that the cops basically, right? And shout out Tim Pool. He says this too, but the cops basically work for the regime, and not all, but most, right? They work for the regime. They're the ones dragging people out of Applebee's in New York. They're the one enforcing, they will enforce vaccine mandates, but they won't enforce they won't enforce people who are shooting up on the sidewalk. So they're completely crooked, but you just kind of blindly obey and make no mistake. I think in major cities, they would not hesitate to put anybody away for the tiniest thing if it just goes against their. I mean, bro, me personally, like I was detained, not arrested, but detained, put in a paddy wagon, taken down to the station for protesting the lockdown 3 weeks before the world knew the name George Floyd. And then they were protesting at that very same park, City Hall Park in Lower Manhattan for 3 weeks straight, which obviously turned into a junkie encampment.
And what crime did you commit to be detained? And here's the ultimate problem. What crime did you commit to be detained?
They told me, and I kind of forget because this is 4 years ago now, but they told me that I failed to disperse. So, and I have the footage, like I should probably make a video about this, but when the cops, I'm talking about 24 protesters. This was early days. This was early May or late April, May 9th of 2020. When I was protesting with a bunch of women old enough to be my mom and little American flags and pocket constitutions, but they blasted us with communist propaganda. They wouldn't talk to us at all. That like one of them had a big speaker that he was wearing and said, "This gathering is unlawful. You guys need to disperse." So I'm walking backwards out of the park onto the sidewalk, walking backwards, recording with my phone. And the guy tells me, one of the cops tells me to cross the street. and I didn't cross the street. And to be 100% honest with you, I thought in my head, I was like, well, if I cross right now, they're going to give me for like jaywalking or something. So I kept walking backwards until one of them came around me, like came around and started handcuffing me. And I'm like, I genuinely, I thought he was joking. I was like, bro, calm down. I'm going to the train right now. Like, leave me alone. Nope. They put me in the cuffs. They put me in the truck. I was in the truck with 8 other people. So there's 9 of us total. Was in the truck or van with 8 other people. And then we got to the station, still handcuffed, and the cops put the mask on me. So they said I failed to disperse, even though I was walking backwards down the sidewalk. I was not in the park anymore. Of course, the whole case got, dropped. I did try to sue the city.
That's the thing is you need more lawyers out there who are willing to sue as far as it takes, because you got convoluted orders to disperse. You did. Just because you didn't do it to their liking, it doesn't mean that you were disobeying a law, and then you get unconstitutionally arrested, violation of your Fourth Amendment. We need lawyers we need like billionaire lawyers who are bored to say, fuck it, I'm going to just go after every department until I bleed them fucking dry. That's what you need, because their resources are infinite. How many people are still being investigated for January 6th for walking in the state capitol? So on their end, they could do it. The police, on their end, they could do it, but the police are never fucking held accountable. Never. It just blows me away.
It's a mess, bro. I can remember the difference between we don't hear about this too much anymore, right? The news cycle is crazy, but in Florida, some guys made skid marks on the rainbow crosswalk. In Washington, some kids on a scooter made skid marks on the rainbow crosswalk. Meanwhile, you quite literally pull down statues with a chain or with a rope or whatever. We can't find it. I mean, look in San Francisco. Hundreds of kids stopped the Bay Bridge. It's nighttime, so it's not rush hour, but still hundreds of people trying to get to where they're going. They stop and do a sideshow. But we can't find them. We don't know where they are. Like, what, bro? There's hundreds of people here. You couldn't tow one car. You couldn't throw the book at one kid in this and set an example. So they work for the regime, but for some reason we still blindly follow them. Like, look, I'm a law-abiding citizen. If I get pulled over, I can't imagine myself in such a dark situation that like a cop would shoot at me. I don't know what I'd have to do.
You don't know that today. Did you ever see the South Park when it was brand new? Like in the years, what was it, fucking 25,
98 or ago? Something?
Right. So it's like 20, shit. It's about 26, 27 years ago. And you got, they're hunting. They're coming right for us. Where he's got the fucking stoma. And that's what they and I did this the other day. It's like you got the South Park, they're hunting. For extinct or species that are facing extinction and endangered. And they go, well, how they avoid getting in trouble with the law is they announce, they're coming, that bear is coming right for us, and they shoot it.
Yeah.
And the bunny is coming right for us. It's like, at what point do cops, is this what they're fucking doing? They are out of control. Nobody's holding them accountable for. And if you say you demand higher standards, you're fucking, you don't back the blue. No, I don't fucking back the blue. How can you back the blue when this shit comes out every fucking day? Well, it's just 1 or 2 cops. No, the orchard is rotten. It's rotten. These videos are coming out all the time. How do you shoot and murder a fucking woman with a pot of boiling water? You cannot. Police are not your friends. They are dangerous. They will look to fuck you over. Keep your mouth shut. Never speak to them. Lawyer the fuck up. I don't care if you're at the grocery store, they wave at you. Sorry, not having a conversation with you. They are actively looking to throw you in jail, increase their stats, or fucking kill you. Police are not your friends.
And there was a clip, the conservative twins, the Hodge twins, and they had a clip. They did a video, a couple weeks ago about a cop. I don't remember where it was. I think it might have been Florida or something, where a cop who pulled over a guy for expired tags or something. And look, I don't know the protocol. I don't even remember where they were. But apparently, the cop stole cash from the guy.
Oh yeah.
But I will say this in like a devil's advocate. It's kind of like the same theory as like, well, they don't report on all the buses that make it safely to their destination. So I assume there are millions of cops who don't do anything, and then obviously we do get
it doesn't matter, because that's the problem, right? If you if you sat there and your loved one required brain surgery, right, and to get a blood clot out or whatever, and you're like, well, you know, we've got 100 brain surgeons on this department, and 90 of them are phenomenal, and 10 of them, yeah, they fuck up from time to time, but they still qualify enough to do the surgery. Are you not shitting your pants hoping that the roll of the dice, you just don't get one of them? Now, talk about men and women who are responsible for taking away your freedom and or life whenever they deem lawfully necessary, and nothing's going to fucking happen. Oh, my bad. Fucked up. Oh, yeah, you're not the guy I was looking for. Turns out, it was another, short black guy who was wearing a hooded sweatshirt. No, nothing's going to happen to me because I was acting in good faith with the color of the law. Fuck that, dude. I'm tired of it. Hey, tell everybody about Report and Opine and your coffee table book.
Yes, sir. So, Report and Opine, check me out on Spreely, Rumble, YouTube. Same username, Report and Opine. Obviously, my book, New York City 2020, Gotham Unglued, which only gets better with age. 260 full color, 8.5 by 11 pages, documenting the demise of New York, which I thought was bad then, but it's arguably worse now. So go ahead and check that out. Price does fluctuate on Instagram, but I think it's a conversation starter. It's great for your coffee table. Check it out and watch my latest video, which I think we started talking about, and then maybe we'll talk about next week. Maybe something else will come out. But the Black Olympians who are done feeling bad about their hair. So go check it out. Spreely, Rumble, YouTube.
I lost all faith in fucking Olympians when Simone Biles is it Simone Biles or whatever her name was, like, I'm too exhausted to compete for the gold. It's like, what? And then everybody would defend, yeah, that's right, she did the right. Are you kidding me? I don't know if I ever made it to that Olympic level, the amount of regret I would feel if I just said, no, I'm not going to compete. But that's America today. It's America today. All right, kids, go check out Report and Opine all over the place. Have an awesome damn day. The Burn Pit Podcast boys are in tomorrow. Go help somebody today, and if you can't help them, just don't hurt them. See you guys tomorrow.